G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of Pillars of Eternity. This is what may be the final episode in a very long series. So let's dive right into it. Great pit lies into the shadow of the statue of Wodica. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so you catch flickers of ghostly and glowed in the depth. A wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it raises goose flesh along your arms. It's goosebumps as the wind carries a whisper, low and sibilant. As you look into the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cloud of essence and swirls around your body while you consider the next move. Jump to the cave. Jump to the pit. Okay. You jump trusting in the promises of the gods and the power of the souls to bear yours safely down. The sudden drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow your descent, you can still feel that you are falling faster than you should. The essence flowing around you is strong but chaotic. You find yourself drifting towards the wall. Bulgina falls with you for a moment, but seems oddly buoyant during a slow descent, feathers fluttering slightly along her arms and sides of her face. Suddenly her golden eyes grow wide and she shouts out, "Look out!" The wall. Reach for a companion. You reach out and feel a hand, strong and sure, wrap around your forearm. It tugs you away from the wall just as you feel your toe graze something. You manage to spread your arms and legs into an X, steadying your position, and at the rate of your descent, you reach the court of penitence, millennia old stone, safely under your feet. The plot is considered high level for this content in Act 4, if you would like to. No.
After what seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
Well, that went better than I expected.
I think that statue of Wodica was watching us soil ourselves on the way down.
Everyone... Good. Just me, then.
If I'm mistaken, we're max level as well. Yes, max. So stupid.
Yeah?
Now this is interesting.
Very early, a lot earlier with the
Show 'em how it's done!
soulbound things we got. It would have just been better.
That looks like
I'll teach you a lesson!
that looks like it hurt.
That's it!
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure.
What's on the left? Voice on off.
All done.
Thing isn't doing the job. Full of that.
La Baru. That looks like it hurt.
I'll teach you a lesson!
Hey there.
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. All done.
Soul Guardian Pillars.
Sure.
I'll stay out of sight.
Daybreak unique two-handed morning star. We are literally on the end of the game, and this is the first time I've seen a proper morning star in the game, and that is actually a weapon I would have liked to use.
Hey there.
If I was a warrior or something.
Take a look at that.
Laying low.
Column of auto rises above you, stoic and silent. It reaches layers a measuring stick for passing of ages. It feels to you as a thick block of ice, and you perceive buried deep in its core a dim, flickering flame, all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. At your approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength as the layers separating it from you melt away, and you are bathed in its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. The glow seems to fade as though you had adjusted to its intensity, and where it was the Iovara steeps into existence, an idyllic shade hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to you now, a slight stoop in her carriage. Perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There is a broad scar across the face, fibrous and wormy, where flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
So my love returns to me at long last. You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
It would seem that I have unfinished business here. I'm here to free you. I go wherever fate takes me. I need answers, and you'd better give it. I'm here to free you.
A gallant gesture, if a bit misguided. And yet I suspect there is more to this than you have said. I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Thaos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Thaos diverted them from the cycle. He seeks to empower Utica and to blame Animancy for the damage he's caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
You knew me when Thaos did. There's something I need to know about
I will
that
tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime I still can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life of you of the Inquisition of Thaos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after...
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Sorry guys, I accidentally pressed 1. Iovara's mouth tightens and her brow furrows. A look of pity, her eyes shift back and forth between each of yours, as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak. With that previous thing that I just said, when I hit the 1 button, just rewind it and pause, and then you can read that said.
that the gods aren't real.
Pelagina throws her head back and laughs gleefully. Of course not. It all makes sense now.
I'd dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief. She's not serious.
Perhaps not to her. Many are those whom the gods have scorned. This is petty retribution.
Nonsense! Clearly she has not been on the receiving end of a god's ire. She'd know how real the gods can be.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Who created these gods and for what?
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Thaos's people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
This is why you started joining faith.
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
How'd you discover this?
The Engwithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them. And in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Later on, after I left the Order, a few Inquisitors found my words persuasive and joined my cause. revealed what I did not already. They revealed what I did not already know. Is it true what you taught?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Thaos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Iovara scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of your company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
He's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt?
I have seen with my own eyes the deceptions of my goddess. The Watcher has shown me as much. But it was not until now that I understood how truly desperate she was. The depths of her deception.
You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts.
Beads of sweat coalesced on Uranus's forehead and trickled down the sides of his face in streaming rivulets, as though he were a blocking of ice standing before a great fire. A block of ice standing in front of a great fire.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. What if neither guide knew the way? How then would you choose a course?
Wal teaches us that the gods cannot give you lasting wisdom. They can only inspire you to find wisdom in your own time.
What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
I stopped asking those questions long ago. It is enough to care for those we love with the time we have in this life.
You feel a weight of Yorastra's eyes upon your soul. What if we can be assured of nothing? Then the only value is in the things we create ourselves.
Verus. We find purpose in ourselves and in the people in our lives.
There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
We do, even without assurance, there is still truth.
If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures, and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand.
For the first time, hints of doubt trace her serene visage.
I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
I don't think I had a reason, I just did it.
Woodica gifted him a great many things, but his ability to manipulate was always his own. Good. Good. The things I taught, the things I believed. I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because...
Because what? I need to know it wasn't because of everything you've learned, you still rather believe in a lie. If that is the conclusion people reach once they know everything, then my purpose has been a mistake. My opinion matters so much to you.
Of all that I loved you for, it was your righteousness most of all. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
I'm never going to be able to convince everyone of anything, true or not. There will always be dissent. I see your point. Your optimism has always been misplaced. That's why we're here now.
I expected dissent, but I needed to know that true faith would prevail. Perhaps I've been wrong to place so much importance on one person's actions. It was all I could do to feel like there was an answer. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
I see the world is a different place now, and as I once did, I regret what I did to you and I wish for forgiveness.
I have always forgiven you. Though I didn't know your reason, I knew you. I knew we had had something wonderful once. Looking back at that has helped me through these many years. At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish, but now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Thaos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Thaos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
Are you bound here until the end of time?
In a matter of speaking. This is Breath Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the site of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Thaos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
The other gods aid me because they want Thaos destroyed. I owe them no debt.
They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Why don't you repent? You could be free of this place.
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life. But that trial was my one moment of certainty, even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence, with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
This place, sun and shadow, what is it? I could tell you what I believe, but again, it would be little proof. I have only what I have seen, and others have told me about it. This is only one man who can tell you now, who knows it to a certainty, and you shall face him soon enough. I will leave you to see it yourself, make your own judgment better for your soul that way, I think. How is it you speak it, Deron? I speak no language now but the wordless expressions of a spirit. It is through my connection to you that I am able to draw upon your words and form them as my own. Do you know what it is I need from Thaos?
I could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
Why has Thaos done all this?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Woodica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Thaos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Thaos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
How can I get Thaos to tell me what I need to know?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him.
It's time for me to go.
Thaos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
The gods are giving me the souls for of their forgiven. If you repent, you could join with them. Help me strike the final blow against Thaos. Your defiance here is an illusion. You are a slave to the gods, bound to their rules, stuck in their system. Your continued existence is proof of the gods' dominion over all of us. If you hadn't planted doubt in my mind so long ago, I'd be living a normal life right now. Before I go, I will repay you for the curse. Then I will wait it.
If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing.
Then I will wait until farewell, Iovara.
I am grateful you came and found me here, no matter the circumstances. You're not exactly who you once were, I have to remind myself. But seeing you one last time, and remembering what we shared, brief as it was better than anything I dared hope for in this place. If ever we should meet again, in this life or any other, I hope to find you at peace.
Hey there.
So, it's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
The token will appear on a companion portrait if they have something new they wish to discuss with you. Well, fuck, thank you for telling me that now. Oh.
Yes? We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. and it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
Thaos is wrong. Most people are fundamentally decent. Knowing the truth would only make them better.
You're right. People will be better off finding direction on their own than following this farce. Besides, the gods haven't exactly done much to prevent us from slaughtering each other. If anything, they've only given us more pretenses for doing so. Seems like that's all they've been doing of late. I've also been thinking. There won't be much left of Thaos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the leaden key headless. Perhaps it's best it stays that way.
Do what you think is right.
Then let's face Thaos. When this is all over, I'll make sure that no one is able to commit his abuses again. Hey, learn all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Some forger killed someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
I wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if Racers had been told their our god was made in some forge or killed someplace. Would we have gone there? People were starving, they'd have rebelled sooner or later.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded.
He looks around the ground, tramping his fingers against his side restlessly when he speaks. Again, it seems half to himself.
I don't know. Well,
his gaze remains distant. When Bowden left for war, we are at your throat cleared. He takes a slow breath. We had a fight, as brothers well. What about?
You said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one.
About him going off to war. He was set on it, but my parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god only gets one.
Oh.
Me,
It's
I
the same for families as it is for gods.
I don't
You
know. It was
only
right.
get the one.
All I knew I didn't want him to go.
He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then, he was gone. On me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
Do you think he went to wait because of what you'd see?
Don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about.
Cross my mind, you live in a place like Gilded Vale, you don't have a whole lot of else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about.
But it seems I'm not meant to know.
Say if you'd left with him, you'd have known why he changed his mind.
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead, so I don't know why I bother thinking about it. Don't know if it was right. But I couldn't abide what Widewin was doing to his own. God or not. It seems to matter after what we just heard. And all these questions I've been trying to figure out. I think I just miss my brother.
He smells faintly, and when he breathes, the air seems to flow more freely through his lungs. Let's be on our way. Still one more mess, we gotta straighten up. Come on, then I still owe you. No one else wants to talk? Okay.
Hey there.
I guess Durrance is breathing at least.
Sure.
Keeping an eye out.
Combusting wounds.
Full of surprises, aren't you?
Incredible! I knew the builders could work wonders, but this is amazing!
We light our own path now, Watcher.
Can you do that again? I had something in my eye. I missed most of it.
Fucking it.
I'll just have to try something else. Show him how it's done!
That was different.
How may I help?
Yes?
The Arcus Vox Convera.
Looks like it hurt.
So, does the dragon also need to repent? The chains.
I'll see what I can find. Now what's this all about?
Attack speed. The shadows in the cavern suddenly lengthen and swallow you. When your eyes adjust to the darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You're surrounded by mist, but the ground feels springy under your feet. You imagine that as soon as you take a step, the soil behind you will erase all trace of your passage. As if on cue, the mists before you clear just enough for you to take a couple of steps forward. You do, and the fog closes behind you. You continue for several minutes in the manner, one step at a time, never seeing more than the dragon right in front of you. Eventually, a ray of light cuts through the haze, and you find yourself facing a canyon wall. The onset twitches as though a mosquito had flown into you. He swings haphazardly at the air with his staff. Something whizzes past you. Just as you turn, you catch another whir of a movement. Out of the mist flips a shade, small and round. You think you see another and another. They tickle the corners of your vision. You turn back to the canyon wall. The sun shifts along the pit spots, and what looked like a smooth rock face is the hollow of a cave. A figure steps out, its features shifting and changing before your eyes.
Can it? It has to be! Wow! But I never thought he'd reveal himself in person! This is incredible! Even his form is fickle and unknowable! Amazing!
The figure transforms from male to female, from all into armor, its bones lengthening and its fur receding into flesh. The only detail that remains constant is the smooth, eyeless face. The whizzing rushing shapes from the mist covers converge on the figure, and as they form a spinning cloud, you realize that they are eyes.
You understand the value of a mystery watcher. A buried scroll, a hidden truth. These are my ways. You unravel a thread, Watcher. One you have lost and discovered over generations. And following it to its end has only brought you back to the beginning.
What are you talking about? Well, giggles a strangely modulated sound that rises and falls as the gods shift from one from the next. You seek and search while your foe obscures, and even your quest for answers to your past has only led you to another mystery and another grander still. I'm here to stop Warwicker from tipping the balance of power, which means you must scatter the very thing she seeks.
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Woodika's question and the beginning of yours. What would you do with them?
According to Halia, it's possible to restore them to the Hollowborn.
A song the world knows and tires of. The droning chorus repeated again and again. Better the improvised melody, the unfolding chant. The listeners sit rapt, and just when they think they have the tune, it changes again. Even the gods require fresh mysteries.
The clouds breaking the door and drain a whale's clean blank face. Do not consign the souls to the fate of the self. Some gods choosing you have found them, now scatter them across existence. Their destination known to neither god nor mortal, let them be lost again. New answers to new riddles. What end would that serve?
No end, Watcher. That is the purpose.
Like what would happen to souls?
None know. They could end up anywhere in the realms of gods or mortals, whole or divided. Discovering them again and charting their course through the ether will be a new mystery.
Well.
That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads. Even I do not know what you would choose.
Shadow from the new caves, melt and spread across the landscape, covering you in darkness. When the light returns, the vision is gone. Now Ravius is gonna want to speak. No, he does not. Interesting.
Hey.
Fuck you. Oh, what's in there? That is not what happened. The game is making it.
I'll teach you a lesson! That's it! That's not very helpful. I'll just have to try something else.
There's a
Full round.
That didn't work. Need to try something else.
All summon upgrades are completed. Dragon's Breath and Bash. Okay. One of his weapons undone.
Sure.
I want to check down there before I go through there. Do anything now. Okay, I think I'm gonna call the episode here, guys. The next episode we will. No, I'm just joking. It just finishes. Is this at the end? Let's see what happens. Oh, it's a whole level on its own. I have to go round and round. Okay, yeah, guys. In that case, I am gonna call it an episode here. I'm sorry about that. So it was not a joke.
Hey there.
So in the next episode, we are definitely completing Pillars of Eternity, and then we are moving over to Pillars 2. But I'm not gonna run Pillars 2 alone. I will be doing Dragon Age with it, and I will see what else. I was thinking Fallout or Warhammer or something like that. But I will see what I'm gonna do with Pillars 2. Anyway, I shall see you guys in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. Have a fantastic day.